Hey, everybody. I didn't record it. I didn't record that part.
Cheesy.
What it was like, I was going to get you. I don't give a fuck. What was it? Billy Haynes that said, I don't give a big fat baby dick. I was like, he's my kind of psychopath.
And I'm like, baby, maybe.
But Billy was a refugee from the 1990s.
But the whole big fat and baby dick. How does that work? Because you're a baby. Everything's small.
He just put a bunch of offensive words together, and he'd roll up into my buddy's house and just start, someone's like, hey man, we're going to the concert. I don't give a big fat baby dick. He just.
Okay.
And what I was told, he was like a bit of a psychopath that always say weird things like that. So
a psychopath that you hung out with? Really?
No, I didn't hang out with him.
My bull? Are you sure?
No, actually, he's from Illinois. I'm
fucking with you.
I'm not fucking with you. I'm not from Pekin, Illinois. Whoops.
Pekin?
I'm not even going to edit that. I mean, somebody's going to be like, I'm going to find this guy.
Are you Pekin?
Sure. They make Sky vodka in Pekin, Illinois.
Well, it's okay. I mean,
it's good when you're trying to get lit.
But it's vodka though. I'm my blood is too fucking Irish and Native American for that. German or is it? Russian shit.
I never see you what Tullamore do, so I'm calling the Irish part.
Tullamore do. Have I drank that before?
I hope so. You're somewhat Irish.
I've drank a lot, so I don't really know if I've had that before. No, wait, it wasn't Tullamore. No, that was the what's the IRA guy's name?
Michael Collins.
Yeah, that was Michael Collins.
God, I like Michael Collins. There's some good stuff.
I've had Jameson. I've had Michael Collins. I think we've had Tullamore Dew though. That name sounds familiar.
I love it though. Tullamore's awesome. They're not a sponsor or anything, but hell, if the people that made them wanted to send me a case of it.
Right. I mean, we consume all alcohol. I can't say all alcohol because I just said I don't like vodka, but I mean, if I have vodka, that means I'm watching The Big Lebowski and drinking a White Russian.
I'm drinking booze without anything on it. I like booze. I like to measure how much alcohol input. I don't like to you worry about milk and all that garbage.
It depends on what it is. I mean, fucking vodka.
Do you have any Kahlua?
Fucking vodka tastes like rubbing alcohol smells.
Do you have any Kahlua?
There's no flavor to it. So.
Hey, do you have any milk? Do you have any Kahlua? I'm like, no, there's booze.
It's a White Russian. Fuck off.
Do you have any milk?
I want to. What the?
Oh, congratulations! I just want to tell you guys, some dickhead decided to set his car alarm off. We did have some articles to get to. I'm going to fast forward, even though numbnuts. Somebody feels like screwing our recording up, but
I don't think it screwed it up at all. I think it just made it spontaneous and weird, like every other podcast.
It was already combusting. Somebody's throwing gasoline on
exactly.
OxyClean and gasoline.
The Molotov cocktail has been thrown to bring it all back to liquor.
It's like the Irish the soccer hooligans are going nuts. It was a 0-0 tie, Ireland and Honduras. Manchester United and Chelsea or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't even know we're fighting. You fucked ours. I'm like, they're beating old folks.
Oh man, did you hear? This is a while ago. Did you hear about this guy that got a beer named after him because he got stabbed in Europe and saved some people from getting stabbed? And like you said, soccer hooligan. And when the people that were around him and the reports that came in, they were after these, the Middle Eastern people, and they were coming at this guy with knives. And before the attack ensued, he cried out, "Fuck you, I'm Millwall," and just started waylaying.
I love it. He's a barroom hero. He's a true Paddy. There's Irish in all of you. Even Hondurans. With Irish last names. Anyway, hey folks, before we start, I, the prognosticator of libertarian whatever, I am Matt FreeMatt, and yes, I screwed that one up.
You really did, epically.
Off the cuff, baby. This man over here, that is the one and only General Patrick Flynn.
Hello.
The wind up, the bitch. And as always, we are the Libertarian Roundtable Discussion Show, podcast, video extraordinaire, going on YouTube. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we are. I forget about that every time.
I wanted to roll into my first little tidbit that wasn't in our notes, but I think you'll like it. We discussed earlier about Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder,
yeah.
about demonetization. I wanted to tell you guys that the theme of this video is going to be not monetized to begin with. We have no sponsors. We have no money to put this together. We cough up money on our own for our own booze. This is my crappy equipment I barely got put together. We're trying to, if I could make a living out of it, I would, but I'd screw it up anyway. But
if we get paid for screwing up, all the more better.
Hey, I'm looking for, I will shill for your free crap. Like, just email me.
He's got an email.
FreeMattpodcast. That's one word.
And he's got a co-host that will do the same thing.
At gmail.com. And that
just
is
not to your wang. And?
We're soy. We're not fags.
Can't
say that.
Re-say your email, sir. I might have messed it up.
You can't say fags on YouTube.
Look, fag, re-say your email and lets people know how to get in contact with you.
Are you quoting somebody with that usage of the word fag?
Yes, fag, do it.
Hey guys, it's official. In the dictionary, there's a picture of fag, and somebody had crudely pasted a picture of my head next to it. All right.
Say the email.
FreeMatt Podcast. That is FreeMattPodcast at gmail.com. Now, I will tell you this much on the serious note. Other people that are established YouTube content creators, I call them artistes, people like Steven Crowder and a couple of other folks that continuously get their stuff demonetized, and people who've been actually kicked off. Alex Jones have been kicked off here. YouTube is costing people money, and it's not helping them, and the rats are leaving the ship. I'm doing this for free. I enjoy it, but I will, before we start with the article, one thing. Carlos Maza is a piece of crap. All right, like, if I worked in a sewage plant, I'd be like, there's Carlos Maza. Like, right here. Like, down. And and here's the thing. People like him are the reason who they're butthurt victims. They're pieces of crap. They're the reason why people can't have nice things. He needs to grow up and act like a freaking man. This is, hell, I don't even know how long ago, 70 freaking years ago, we had D-Day, and we were worried about, poussoirs like this. So people like him would have been shot. Like, we had a bunch of, we had some hard-ass folks hitting the damn beaches of Normandy from Canada, United States, and Australia, New Zealand, other cool places like that. Our brothers from England and some Free French, actually. But here's the irony. It's not ironic. People like Carlos Maza are victims, and those kind of people are the reason why the Western civilization wouldn't be around today. If people like that win, don't let them win. Shut them up. Shut up, Carlos. Shut up. You like that? Like, no. What?
Hand is strong.
You can't do this to us, Carlos. Like, these are the limperest against Carlos.
Oh, shit.
Because he has a lisp and he calls himself queer, and Steven Crowder called him a lispy queer, and I was just like, we're the lispy queers against Carlos Maza. He doesn't represent the lispy queer defamation league. Like, they're like down the hallway from like the rental office next to the Honduran Irishman defamation.
Oh, really,
league.
really?
Well, they share a complex. Like, we sublet the office from like the Honduran Irishman defamation league.
Jesus.
Carlos Maza gives bad name to all the rest of the lispy queers. We're like, thanks, Carlos.
Maybe. I mean, if he does.
Look, if people like Carlos Maza like win, like, are we just gonna like fold the Navy SEALs and they're like, all right, guys, let's go have a parade. Get your assless chaps and go.
Jesus.
Come on, Jocko Willink. Like, don't you say that about. You know, I was in the Navy, so Jocko Willink was. He was in the Navy almost around the same time I was, so naturally I was going to crack jokes at his expense. Like, come on, Bruce, come on, Jocko.
Jesus.
Get your assless chaps. All right, folks, we're going to get to our articles.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it in the lispy voice either.
Thank God.
All right, article for today. Sorry, Bernie Sanders, but Disney doesn't have to apologize for making $1.3 billion with Avengers Endgame. Because victims don't win.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey.
But I always thought it was britches.
Thug life.
Britches.
Bitches.
Don't win.
Snitches get stitches. Bitches end up in ditches?
Bitches get stitches with the snitches.
No. It's like snitches get stitches, but bitches end up in ditches or something like that.
Maybe.
Speaking of bitches, the Vermont socialist can muster a lot of emotional outrage at CEO pay, but his argument about a moral economy, that's in quotations, doesn't add up. Nick Gillespie gave us, at Reason.com, gave us this article.
Did he?
Yes. He bestowed it like just...
Keep the party going.
Crotch bomb. Taylor Swift crotch bomb. There you go. All right, let's go through it. To date, the new movie Avengers Endgame, and it's relatively new still, has grossed over $1.3 billion worldwide, a testament, awesome band, to the popularity of the superhero franchise and the ability of Disney, which owns Marvel Studios, a lot of people don't remember that, to deliver what an audience want at a price it's willing to pay. Testament is environmental holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
Electric
Eye.
That's unrelated to this story, but Testament is a great band.
They should get plugged.
Yeah. Because if it says like, I said, the people said they wanted to slay her. I said, Slayer's a good band. The serial killer was quoted in saying, plenty of people wanted a Slayer. Like Slayer, which is a good band.
Uh-huh.
South of Heaven. Oh, Lord. Anyway. They mention about Bernie Sanders, the Vermont independent, who's actually a Democratic socialist.
I was starting to say, I don't know if he's independent.
He's independently not a Democrat.
I'll go with that.
He goes, there's only exploitation and immiseration. Oh, that's a nice word. What would be truly heroic is if Disney used its profits from Avengers to pay all of its workers a middle-class wage instead of paying its CEO, Bob Iger, $65.6 million, over 1,400 times as much as the average worker at Disney makes, he tweeted. If that sounds a bit familiar, it might be because a year ago the senator tweeted, we need to shame Disney. Shame was in capital letters.
Which means you're yelling.
I want to hear their moral justification because I can't do a Vermont accent. that while making billions of dollars, they have workers going hungry. That's an old crotchety man.
Yeah, let's
I can't do Vermont. Fuck, I can't do Vermont. Because it's not New Hampshire. Like,
you need affordable health care.
Affordable health care. I used to live. I used to live next to Joe Kennedy.
Continue reading.
I can't do Joe Kennedy either.
That's why you should continue reading.
Help us out. At a June 18th, 2018, even better, rally, he also argued, I want to hear the moral defense of a company that makes $9 billion in profits, $400 million for the CEOs, and have a 30-year worker going hungry. Which I think is bullshit. It's muckraking.
Basically.
Way to go, Upton Sinclair. You don't even know that reference? The jungle. Enjoy your fingers. Meat packing plant. Get your fingers cut off. Shut up and eat your fingers. Shut up. Shut up. Hey, it's okay to eat them as long as they're not your fingers. Here's a thought. Disney doesn't need to make a moral justification to Bernie Sanders or anyone else about how it does business as long as it operates within the law. The purpose of a company isn't to be all the things to all people, especially to politicians who can threaten onerous regulation. Disney needs to be accountable to its shareholders, thank you, along multiple dimensions, not simply in terms of making money, and its customers, and it needs to be able to attract and keep employees for its various operations, including its theme parks, which Sanders is alluding to when talking about a 30-year worker going hungry. I don't know who the fuck that was. Sorry. I haven't had enough to drink with these. These people are making me cuss.
X-nay on the Ernie Sanders impersonation.
An NPR report from last year included this comment.
See, that might work, but just don't call it Sanders.
I am Bernie Sanders. I'm going to throw myself off.
I just said don't call it Sanders. What do you do? This is why I don't give you nice things. You don't listen.
I've been 29 years with Disney. I only get $15.70 an hour.
That's your own problem.
An unnamed full-time concierge who is living with a friend told researchers for the Coalition of Labor Resort Unions, sometimes I go without food. Sorry, dude, you fucked up somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I mean, unless you're intermittent fasting, that would make sense not eating.
Yeah, but no.
Those they need more soy than that.
Well, see, I was going to wait till the end of the article, but see, my thing is, wherever you end up in life and whatever you've got is your own fault, period. Full stop. Continue on with the article.
Last summer, Disney reached an agreement to boost starting pay for most hourly workers at Disneyland to $15 an hour. It's safe to assume that management caved for a variety of reasons, including bad publicity in the wake of Sanders' comments, which came at a rally held in Anaheim. He also wrote an op-ed in The Guardian attacking Disney for being miserly in its pay. At a time, and this is in quotations, at a time when the three wealthiest people in America own more wealth than the bottom half, and corporate CEOs have seen their income skyrocket, wrote Sanders. We must create a moral economy which demands that if you work 40 hours a week, you do not live in poverty. We can't make it a law. Like
I said, just continue on with the article, and we'll go back and.
If that is Sanders' main demand, he can already declare victory and go home. In 2016, the latest year for which I could find data, and that's Nick Gillespie, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's BLS, not Black Label Society, but Bureau of Labor Statistics. You like that?
Are you sure it's not BLS?
Black Label Society?
I think it was BLS.
Reported that just 3.1% of those usually employed full-time reported income below the poverty line. On that rudimentary but important score, the system is working just how Sanders wants. But more than that, Sanders' rage at CEO compensation is a non sequitur. As Alex Edmonds, a finance professor at the London Business School, writes, CEOs and workers operate in different markets, thank you. So there is no reason for the pay to be linked. Just as a solo singer's pay bears no relation to bassist pay. This consideration explains why CEO pay has risen much more than worker pay. As an analogy, baseball player A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, was not clearly more talented than Babe Ruth, but he was paid far more because baseball has a much bigger, more global industry by the time he was playing. Even if the best player is only slightly better than the next best player at that position, the slight difference can be a huge effect on teams' fortunes and revenues. Just as the baseball industry has gotten bigger, so have firms, also due to global marketplace, and so it is worth paying top dollar for top talent. Average firm size in the Fortune 500 today is $20 billion. Thus, even if a CEO contributes only 1% more to firm value than the next best alternative, the contribution is worth $200 million, much higher than the $10 million average salary. Gabay and Landier show that the six-fold increase in CEO pay since 1980 can be explained by the six-fold increase in firm size. You can lop off pay for the top of a company and it's not going to raise up salaries for regular employees. At the same time, if a company keeps banking record profits and doesn't share the wealth with its workforce, employees will start to defect. This is one of the reasons why corporate profits and employee compensation generally move in the same direction over time. More
logic.
Facts hurt.
Not fiction.
Your feels don't count.
Not emotion. Not emotion.
Data and facts.
No moral. Just facts.
This is the depressed economics podcast. We just gave up. Sorry. We just met the end of the Laffer curve, and it doesn't look good.
No, it really doesn't. No.
We're nihilists now. We hate everything.
I'm a vaginalist. What?
We're in a deep, dark depression of puss around here. I drew a picture on a sheet of paper, and I was like, God.
It sounds more like you drew a blank.
Yeah. It says, more importantly, if you care about improving the quality of life and living standards over time, the essential question is always about creating broad-based, sustainable economic growth. What are the conditions that are most likely to help the economy get bigger, stronger, and more resilient? At the top of the list is a government which promulgates simple, predictable, and widely enforced rules, spends within its limits, and doesn't pursue arbitrary trade wars and military interventions, and doesn't bog down the future with an ever-increasing mountain of debt that tamps down growth and freezes out investment.
You mean it doesn't do what it does every day?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Near the bottom of the list is something that is Sanders' policy repertoire.
Repertoire.
That's for Justin Trudeau, my favorite poussoir. Canadian poussoir. I'm waiting for the Canadians to attack. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to build a wall before that. Oh! Just kidding. We're going to make Canada pay for it. What are you going to do, Justin? You're going to come down and beat a lowly horseshoe mustache jackass to death? He's going to ride in with his 5'3" jackass, pussy hat wearing Canadian turd. Anyway, announcing bold new plans, Medicare for all, free college for all, without even pretending to know how to pay for them. And it's funny because that tail end there, as much as it fell off a cliff, it was a very emotional end. It was like, it was the end of My Name is Earl.
I like the way they kind of is like, oh, hey, yeah, here's some logic for you. And really, one thing I've got to ask, and I know it's strategic. Have you ever noticed that everything that Sanders does and frames up, Sanders isn't the only one. It's like blue media 101. They frame everything to be some kind of emotional argument.
Yes.
Every one of them.
It's the feels.
Yeah. So But I don't think you can do that. I mean, you can. Well, let me rephrase. You can do that because they do it every day, but like you can't effectively do that in government enacting a policy. There's facts, there's figures, there's economics. Those things don't care about your feelings. This whole what Disney should do, they're a corporation. They're supposed to make money to their, like the article said, to their shareholders and to the customer. Mm-hmm. The customer doesn't really, they just want to be entertained.
You know what? The whole point of a corporation and the people that were behind it, even though corporations are legally people, even though I disagree with that.
I really do disagree with that. I see it as the corporation is the tool, the business owner, that is the person. Like whoever, you go up high enough, you come to that one guy, whoever owns it. That one guy, that's the person, not the corporation. They're separate.
You have people that invested money, like you've had people that continue to invest money in it. You have people that, like, common stockholders, which are people, just everyday people.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, folks, that corporations, they don't have morals. They have their purpose of existing is structures of liability, all right? Structures of liability for the people who invested in the company. But it's also so those people who invested the money have an avenue which to make money, a return of investment, unless they're a nonprofit. And then usually a nonprofit has a mission. It has a purpose. But most corporations, you're not going to like saying this, but when I say this, they're there to make money. They're there to make money for the people who invest in it. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, there's some people that make money in capital gains or whatever. Screw it. But investors, corporations make money. I'm sorry.
It's what they do.
I don't make a lot of money a year. The weird thing is, there's somebody else who makes a lot of money, who started the company, who's behind it, who does a lot of the wheeling and dealing. They're the reason I have a job. And a lot of people hate admitting it. They're like, all these fat cats. A fat cat literally started the parent company that I work for. And the dumbest damn thing is nobody wants to admit it. Yeah. I met the original company that I used to work for, all right? I worked for the lady. I worked for her company. I met her. She's a woman who started the company. She's a major, major shareholder, like a major stockholder. The biggest portion of stock is her. And at one time, the CEO was her son. And I'd rather not say the gentleman's name, but he's first name basis. Very intelligent man, used to run the company, not anymore. But the thing is, I imagine she started, her love of science is one thing, but her desire to make money, and she had an element, she says, hey, I can make money here. And you know what she did? She got more contracts, she built a company. Has somebody else run it? Yeah, she's got some money in her pocket, she got a little jingle. But I guarantee you she didn't start it because she felt like paying me $80 an hour.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it goes.
I mean, they don't pay General Patrick Flynn for his handsome looks.
Well, actually, to further drive home your point, though, I mean, you can look at and a particular author that we know. His name's Rob Bell. When he started doing what he does, even back before he was, I believe it was a pastor, he just wanted to do sermons because he loved doing sermons. He loved the whole performance art aspect of it. He did it for himself, and look what it grew into and how much people he's helped over the years. So it kind of goes to show that self-interest isn't a bad thing, and making money is not a bad thing. Just because you make money at something doesn't mean you're a bad person or that you're greedy. It means you're fucking successful.
I learned this the hard way, that people that had drive and vision who wanted to make money, quite often those people, and then I call that capital. Money is capital.
Yeah.
They're the people that desire to make more money have actually been the ones who employed people. I've worked for a large amount of major companies, and I guarantee you, people are like, oh, they're fat cats. They're the top 500 of 500 incorporated companies are terrible. And I'm like, no, No, they employ people.
Yeah,
they build factories.
They freaking
for
give you
idiots
jobs.
like you, like these stupid rednecks who go and that's like, Bear, man, they're multinational corporations are evil, and I'm like,
Here's a question for
they
you.
put idiots to work.
Here's a question for you, talking about workers and things like that. How many people do you think realize that when they say their job,
It's the company's job.
it's not their job? That's the role they fulfill. It's not their job. If they were the company owner, then it would be their job. But you're just, no matter what worker or what level you are, you, me, or whoever else, that's the role you fill. It is not, quote unquote, your job. But trying to get people to understand that, it's like pulling teeth. They identify themselves with what they do.
If they let you directly buy into the company with your money, people would understand that, it's not, that's the company. The company owns the position.
Yeah.
I fought with people all the time. I said, the company decided that you didn't need to fill that position anymore, so they got rid of you. They fired you. They said, we're going to find somebody else to fill this position. You didn't take the position with you. The company found somebody else to fill it. They own that position. You're filling your role. You're filling that position. That's your role in the company. Now, what I was getting at about the buy-in, and there's some companies that do this where they let you buy stock.
Yeah.
And not just a 401k.
Aldi's is actually a really good company for that.
And if you felt the pain that a company feels, I guarantee you your actions would be more in line with what is good for the company. And that company, when you have what's the word? I'm not buy-in.
Skin in the game?
Skin in the game. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, General Patrick Flynn.
You is welcome.
When you have skin in the game, you feel the slings and arrows. Like, I guarantee you, if your base pay was like at the steel mill, it's like $9.50 or $10 an hour. You're like, that's nothing. They get bonuses when they make steel. Mm-hmm. You're like, when they don't kill them, well, it's not safety related, by the way. You can't do safety related. But when you're producing and when you're not blowing things up and you don't cost the company money, they get bonuses. You're like, man, that guy made $120,000 last year. I said, yeah, and the year before then he made $10 an hour. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, they got skin in the game. And like, hey, we're gonna make, like, the economy was down. They didn't make any money.
Right.
But the economy is okay. They sell steel. People get paid. It's beautiful. And I was like, honestly, if you had more of a buy-in, you wouldn't have all these little, twits and these socialist, nincompoops. Like, I want $15 an hour. And I'm like, if everybody...
Do you provide 15 an hour's worth of value?
No. That's why that's why we got machines working at McDonald's. Because the machines are cheaper than $15 an hour.
Yeah.
And you know what the weird part is? I was like, I don't blame them. And I have family members who probably wanted to work at McDonald's.
I don't blame them at all because they're in the business of making money. Period. That's, again, it's not a bad thing. It's just when I believe it is an unintended consequence of the minimum wage and labor laws. Period.
It doesn't help.
Yeah. They actually hinder it in the long run.
And the weirdest thing is that people... I've said this, and it's not just union people. I've said this even about non-union people. It's lazy lummoxes. It's people that if they were made to feel the pain of their process, about how they are in their role in the company, and they're like, okay, we did really good this year. My pay averaged $25 an hour. And you're like, holy crap.
Dun, dun, dun.
My minimum was like $8. I'm like, I did great. The next year, like, I only made $10 an hour. Total. I said, because you were a lummox and you were laid out. You were sick all the time. Mm-hmm. I was like, and you're like, man, our bonuses were like, holy crap, like $9,000. You're like, yeah, like,
make it right, motherfucker.
It was like, strippers are like, man, the strippers are rolling around in Benzes. You're like, Flynco Chemicals is the best, baby. Smoke weed every day, Flynco Chemicals. Like my husband's, he got me some ice, CEO of Flynco, Flynco Chemical. It's like I diversified.
Partnered with Ace Chemicals.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. This is not only does the Flinko grocery he took all the money and he was just like Ernie, his efficiency, like he started making more money. He bought another Flinko
He quit
grocery.
flashing and started doing some money, and he got productive and got a bonus. Go figure.
He actually invested and built another Flinko grocery. He started taking medication. Now he's like manager. Like, shut up, get back to work. Sorry. Sorry. I took too much medication. It's like, I will not yank my crank. It was like General Patrick Flynn and General Manager, Ernie. Oh Lord, Ernie, I'm glad things are doing good for you. But Flinko Chemical, that's a good analogy though. The people can feel the pain. I said if you feel the pain, you would act better. I know people are like, well, I said we need a union to quit jacking us around. I'm like, I'm shutting down in 5 years. I'm just
pretty much. I mean, granted, don't get me wrong. Back in the day when unions first started, they did serve a purpose, and there was a reason. I just feel that unions are one of those things that have, one, abused their position, but two, because of that abuse and things they've done, have outlived their overall, and let me stress the word overall, usefulness, because there is instances to where they do help, but time and time again, I see it actually hurting in the long run. And don't even you watching UAW and things like that.
I've seen union workplaces where they gave all these benefits, but people had no skin in the game. And they wonder why plants shut down. I was like, it's easier to shut a plant down. But if you made people where if it hurt your check and you're like, okay, 1 year I made $120,000, the next year I'm only worth $35,000, you would tell, like, hey guys, what are we doing? They're like, well, so-and-so laid out, hey, get your ass back to work. I would tell, I tell people, I'm like, hey, can we not work a little bit better? Like, what can we do to improve our workplace?
Right.
And I'm like...
And it would seem more than just bureaucratic bullshit to your everyday worker, too, when they saw the direct correlation. It's funny how, like, when people can make the I call it mind to wallet connection.
Yes.
When they can make that mind to wallet connection, how much it improves things, and even improves morale too.
The stakeholder,
you feel better about yourself when you know stuff like that.
Your stakeholder meeting would be like the people at the plant.
Yeah.
And you're like, and the thing is, as long as you're working, and you're working hard and you're improving, I guarantee you, if you owned and you had, even if you pitched in money, like, your work is one thing, but if you pitched in money, I said, that's even better. I'm like, I don't know about you, Pat, but your lazy ass is hurting me. You're hurting my wallet. I'd be this close to work, that close to working you over in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I'd be like, lazy fuck.
Pretty much.
Get them, boys.
Pretty much.
Them Honduran Irishmen are all the same. Like all of a sudden getting phone calls from the Honduran Irishman Defamation League. I don't even know what a Honduran Irish accent is.
Let's see.
What's up, Holmes?
HIM, the him. Honduran Irish Mafia. The him.
Hey man, you can't screw with us like that. We're like, we're not Mexican, we're Honduran. I don't do a Honduran accent. Fuck you, man.
Exactly.
I don't even know what a Honduran is.
That's good enough. That is good enough. Because it's really not much different.
Were you saying a Mexican?
Now, honestly, if you can take that Mexican flair, give it a little bit of a Jamaican flair to it for your stereotypical island, then you're getting closer to the accent of the people that I know. It's like a half-ass Spanish European island deal. It's funky. Like the way for instance, black, BLACK, sounds like bike. Like
Like,
that is pretty much.
ouch.
the kind of thing you're dealing with.
On that note, but anyway, folks, feeling the pain, making a part of, don't look. There's ways around this, and if you want to make more money, you invest more money, or you have some type of sweat equity, maybe. If you work off the clock, I guarantee you, a real like ultra capitalist ANCAP idea would be like like an hour bank, and you would say, this is how much they put into it without pay. And you're like, oh no, getting paid without work. I said, what is? No, I'm serious.
I've done that before.
If you got paid a percentage, say like there was some type of algorithm to figure out how many hours you worked, and your contribution off the clock. That's an investment. Time is money. Time is money.
Yeah.
And they figure out what percentage and say like common stock. And you're like, that's, it's like your trickle down, that's, 15, 25% of whatever common stock share per, hour, what have you. And then you figure out, somebody could figure out, they're like, oh yeah, man, you busted your ass off the clock. Here's your check. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what does I get paid? You took money.
That's literally how.
Look, you took money. You literally took an hour paycheck, and this guy put money in the company.
That's literally how I got eligible for overtime. Because when I first started with the company that I worked at, I believe it's called non-exempt.
Yep.
And I was making the same amount of money no matter how many the hours I worked, and that they found out how often I was having to stay over for environment issues and stuff and doing what I do. And they were like, yeah, we're going to make you non-exempt where you can get overtime now. Your position qualifies you for it after, because you've been staying X amount of hours for so long and done it so many times.
Not just comp time. Because, we get time. Yeah. Like, for my job, I don't want to say what I do or where I go.
Right, either. But
we don't we only have a certain set amount of overtime when we're approved. The rest of it is flexible work hours, like comp. It's comp, and hour here, hour there, whatever. A couple days out of a year disappear. And the thing is, you have to start to think like if you worked at a company. I will say this much: all these people complain, like, "You got a union for that." I'm like, you have no skin in the game. Your union did not invest in the company. Like, you asked for pensions, you asked for options, you didn't put any skin in the game. You literally said, we're going to try and shut down the company by not working.
Well, side note, you talk about the pensions and the options. I actually think, and this kind of boils over into a whole nother argument about companies and healthcare and all that shit, but I actually think that part of the reason why you see wages stagnate is because of all of the quote-unquote perks and benefits the companies are forking out. I feel like the money that the companies use for stuff like that could be used for things like, raises.
I've actually said that, and I honestly feel like a lot of the grubbing and stuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if I'm not saying you should feel the pain, but when you put set amounts and you're like that, 15 an hour, we'll go on strike, we'll burn this place to the ground. And I'm like, what if I give you an option? What if you work an extra hour a day and I have some type of algorithm and you get comp, like you get money, or you get time, or there's some other
extra PTO days, something.
Yeah, and the thing is that it costs money, but the weird thing is, the company would say, okay, our company made this much money because, Patrick Flynn decided to bust his ass and he did that great, And anyway, I'm beating this live horse dead, but he's over there in the looking up saying, please no more dirt. Anyway, folks, oh Lord, that's yeah.
All right then.
Yeah. Folks,
we done.
I do want to say some parting words. As much as I did want to say about the YouTube adpocalypse, the adpocalypse.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, and we're getting to the point where Yeah, they're making things worse and worse. Folks, I will say this much.
Vivo.
Start going to BitChute. Start the money.
Vimeo, isn't that one?
Yeah, Vimeo, BitChute. I don't want to say Daily Motion because some of those people are assholes, but yeah, whoops. But start, like all the PayPal stuff, which they suck too. But some of these companies that Subscribestar and things like
Vimeo
that.
seems decent.
Subscribestar and other ways to help people pay for their content and stuff. Content creators, Crowder's got Mug Club. I'm not telling you to go to join Mug Club, but if you want to support the guy, you would join Mug Club because, well, I like the stuff.
Okay.
And he throws it in their faces, and he's doubling down. And the thing is, it's your time to double down too. Any words of wisdom?
I don't know about wisdom, but just really not tonight. I really don't. I'm
Any
blank.
cuss words?
I'm blank.
Any favorite cuss words?
Favorite cuss words? Oh, got to go with fuck. Fuck is a favorite cuss word.
You heard it. Fuck. And for some reason, my laptop decided not to be plugged in. But folks, have a good night, good day. Please take care of yourself.
Bye.
Much love.
We hate you. We love you. We hate you. We do love you.
We
Bye.
hate you. We love you.